Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So I'm going to go ahead and we will be doing the next Danman turn today, which should be quite fun. We do have something which is a potential risk. It is a ambitious little plan. It's one that I mentioned on the Discord and I think live, but I'm not too sure if I mentioned it live. I think I did on the last stream, but I can't recall exactly. And the idea is we did see what looked to be about 20 to 30 aircraft of the AVG, i.e. the actual American volunteers in China, otherwise known as the Flying Tigers. Yes. We saw them based at Tungo, which we took last turn. He moved them some days before to a base called Baines, I think it is or something of that nature, which is a base with clear terrain. There should only be around about 8 AV or something like that. It's like a engineer unit, not very heavy amount of AV there. We swept Rangoon yesterday, so he may be running cap higher over Rangoon than this base where his actual fighters are, is the hope. It's going to be an interesting one. We are using our paratroopers. It could go wrong. It could go wrong. We do have 2 groups of Zeros going into sweep. We do have some Key 43s and an escort for the transports as well, so we can but hope that everything goes well. How you doing there, Parmentier? Good to have you, my man. Burps are stinky. He comes up with some really interesting ones sometimes. I can never quite connect the theme sometimes. I can never quite connect it. Now, we did see him move in last turn with... How you doing there, Mexicans? Good to have you, my friend. Yeah, it looked like he moved in last turn to actually lay some mines in the Marshall Islands. We do have 2 coastal minesweepers in the area, one at Roinema, one at Quanjalane. Mexi. Oh, is it you, Mexi? Ah, the dolphin man. I like that dolphin. Yeah. I did like that dolphin. If it's not you, then you'll not know what I'm on about, but somebody will know who I'm on about. There we go. Right, so loading up 2 base sources from Singkawang to move them to Singapore. Right, unloading over there, so we should attack at that base today. I do wonder what he's going to be doing. I'm hoping that we don't have any issues with... Yeah, so there's mines over here, then ideally we don't hit a mine, that'd be ideal. But we can see then that he had, in fact, laid mines at Quadjalane. That's good to know, then. And we'll respond to that. Oh... Please. Oh my god. I was so ready to say. The mummy's curse strikes again. But fantastic. Oh, fantastic. Oh god. I did not want to lose another cruiser mine layer. I just cannot keep on losing cruiser mine layers all the goddamn time. But thankfully, we didn't lose it. That swordfish is a pain in the ass. We're going to have to patrol this area here, but once we have a ASW aircraft, we should be good there. Hey, doing the Captain Flatbed? Hey, the XTRG just passing by and say hi. Have a nice day. Have a nice day to you too, my friend. Hope to see you again later on. Ah, thank God. Right, so we did head out here then to interdict the PB, which is not too much of a surprise. We do see ships down here, interestingly enough. We do see, obviously, a number of cruisers here, what look to be light cruisers and destroyers. But it's very interesting that he's doing this at all. It's a very interesting force to see here. So we see Marblehead, and obviously the PB is doomed. There's literally no way she's going to survive this. But it does give us information here to work with, which is quite nice. So Trenton, Concord, Rayleigh, however you want to pronounce that. So it was about 300 supply on board that ship, but it does give us information there to work with. So we have that. It does make me wonder then if he's using Comac or potentially the New Hebrides then as, I don't know, I suppose you could call it like a launch pad. Some sort of staging base. That would make sense. But it's interesting that he does have the light cruisers like that. It's interesting that he has them there. I mean, surely they're operating as the Surface Combatant Task Force. But you don't have cruisers around the area. You don't have assets like that around the area. Unless you're doing something. Unless you want to protect something. So it's good information. It's a shame Battle sends a supply, but then again, it was always a risk to send that one out there. I mean, we kind of knew it was probably going to die, but it was worth the information, perhaps. And it has proved to be worthwhile information, because we do know he's operating around New Caledonia. At least we have a tally of certain ships in the area, so we have something to actually help us to base our approximations of what we may, in fact, face in the future then on. I don't like that we're losing assets at Singkawang, considering that they're not in any rush there. Yes, we have mines being swept at Quanjalane. S-37 over here. So, Submarine combat. I wish it said ASW combat or submarine combat, so it'd be nice to know who's actually launching the attack there. Because that's considered an ASW attack, not the actual sub-attacking. He's trying to interdict us there, but we should have the 2 naval guard units arrive in a medic today. It'd be excellent if they could actually land wholesale today, but that'd be nice. It would be nice if it happened. I don't know if it will happen. I do have the divisions actually moving to Burma. I was originally going to have them actually land at Migu or Tavoy, but I'm actually going to go ahead and try to get them in at SunYan. The reason being, I'd like to have them as far forward as I can manage. Pegu would be even a consideration, but Pegu has no, port. Right, so sweeping over here at Bastien, however you want to pronounce that. We're not seeing any aircraft. I mean, ideally there's aircraft here, but it looks pretty good, but there's no resistance so far. Another, yeah, 47 zeros coming in there, and no resistance detected. I'm hoping it works. I'm really hoping that we can actually take that base. I'm really hoping that the aircraft are on the actual airfield here today. Oh, I'm having these guys actually hit the airfield entirely today. He had repaired quite a lot of the actual airfield damage, so I can't get too complacent. So we're going to go ahead and bomb. There's a fair amount of flak there. Now, it's a fair amount of flak, and we do seem to be mostly immune to it at this moment in time, but he's definitely firing upon us. But it's interesting that we haven't taken much in the way of damage, so that's quite intriguing. But he wouldn't be firing flak unless he could actually hit us, so can't get complacent. But we have a few hits there on the airbase, a few hits on the runway. There we go, more hits on the runway. That's not losing any hits, but I imagine we probably will have got some. Continue to bomb this unit over here. That should keep it in combat mode. I should have been doing that from the start, actually, but I've forgotten about these assets here. But it's good experience for them, too. A few casualties there. Okay, more Edas. Airbase supply hit. Right, okay, so we see carriers down here, but it's Lagi. This is not too surprising. He's hitting the airfield, so that's intriguing, Vince. It does look like he's actually got his carriers out here. So, did we potentially tip his hand? We do have some H6K4s on the airfield. We do have some Jakes on the airfield. So, they could be destroyed or potentially beaten up. We'll have to see there. But it's interesting. I did actually predict that Tulagi would be the base that would be leveled by his forces as he does come into the area. But he has revealed himself in this area. But he doesn't really lose anything. So no flights. It looks like we had some reconnaissance damage there, so we'll have to fly them out to Rabaul potentially, but that's probably what it wants there. We still have reconnaissance over here at Buin at the Shortlands, so that's not too bad. He had 2 of his SPDs dauntless damaged, a few hits on the runway. I've got plenty of engineers, we do have supply there. Supply hits, which is not fun. So we have some Wildcats. I imagine the Wildcats are strafing. Yeah, they're strafing. They could cause more damage likely. We do destroy 1 by flak, which is quite nice actually, shooting 1 down. Be nice if we destroyed more of them. There's not an insignificant amount of flak here with the actual combat units. That's the thing. And another Wildcat shot down there by flak. That's actually proven pretty good so far. A 3rd Wildcat shot down by flak. That was nice, actually. They came in 100 feet. I mean, not every unit here is on combat mode either. I don't know if they would be on combat mode now because they were bombed. I'm not too sure about that. But 1 unit was definitely on combat. The others were on rest, but we shot down about 3 or so there with flak. Not a bad result. Not a bad result. So we do have some 139s here. We are engaged with the Key 43 1Cs, which is quite nice. At least we should be able to drive them off. They'll be trying to attack the tanks over here in Java today, it seems, but I don't think we'll give them that chance. We shoot at 139 down there. Elements turning back. Those 139s are a huge pain. He's been using them effectively. He's lost so many, but he does have a good number. He's been using a small amount of them consistently. And this is it. There's been many times where if we hadn't have kept up the actual cap, we would have had problems. How close is the key B to those carriers? The Kidabbatai is a truck, so about I'd say about 4 or 5 days from their position now, something of that nature there. But about 2 or so days from Rabaul, give or take. The good news is, in the Rabaul area, we're building up in a much different way than we were last time. We do have the Kidabbatai that has received another 80 zeros to her order of battle, which is very important. So we do have a a very much upgunned Kitabatai that he's not going to be aware of. I'm quite happy that we actually shot down those Wildcats with a flak. I mean, that was quite nice. He didn't really inflict that much damage, and he actually lost some aircraft for his trouble, so that's quite nice, actually. I mean, low level is dangerous, but it's very dangerous to the aircraft, because all these, like, AAMGs and stuff of that nature, they suddenly become all that much more important. So we are seeing some actual assets being damaged by flak. Damage by flak isn't anywhere near as bad as shot down, so let's hope it actually succeeds. I don't know. I don't want to get my hopes up. He might have potentially moved his fighters out of that area. Maybe. If he has, then we'll take the base and pull them out. We're going to pull them out anyway. If there are fighters in the airfield and we do succeed in taking the base, I'm going to be very happy. But we don't know. Right, so we are attacking over here again. He is going to have a large amount of forces over here to Yanana, I believe, actually, so I've got to be mindful of that. But we are attacking here deliberately. We have 6th Independent, 7th, 4th. We have 5th Armoured Car. We have the 26th Division here. We'll be able to grind through these guys and be across the river here shortly. Ideally, we could force the group army to surrender or something of that nature, but we'll be across here then shortly. I'll have to leave like a unit behind to make sure he doesn't cross back. I'd like to have some units here to make sure we do not lose control of this road over here. So 635 to 34, we do force him to retreat here, so he retreats towards Yunnan. Does he actually retreat to Yunnan or to this hex? He might actually retreat, yes, he retreats directly to Yunnan, which is actually better in some ways. If we could actually get here without having to shock attack, that'd be nice. I don't know what the actual terrain is here, so we'll have to double check that. We suffer 247 casualties, 1 destroyed, 11 disabled, 2 disabled there, non-combatants. We inflict 1,832 casualties, 113 destroyed, 35 disabled, 76 destroyed, 1 disabled, 2 engineers destroyed, 0 disabled, 8 guns destroyed, 4 disabled, 3 units retreat there. Right, we do attack over here at Batavia once again, so we do see the Batavia base force. We had a very bad roll last turn. He does have some awesome fortifications, but we'll eventually drive through them. So we have another... I don't know why we're getting the leaders here. That's really impressive, considering that guy has, like, leadership of, like, 76 or something. No casualties on both sides. We do have another regiment marching in here that will arrive either today or tomorrow, actually. Fatigue's a bit of a problem. But this is fine. The fact is, there's not that much in the way of actual resistance there. We'll be able to break through and take Batavia, which would be nice. We should have the tanks actually attacking his headquarters in the cleared terrain, which would be nice. We captured Manasir today. Which is good. I need to take all these actual islands in the area, all these dot bases in the area, really try to restrict his ability to have any sort of forewarning of what might be in that area. But we see that he does have the carriers to the south, so that's actually really important information there. I don't know, it looked like it was about maybe 1 carrier's capacity potentially, but I'm sure we'll be able to deduce a little bit more information from that. But the good news is we know his carriers are in the Coral Sea, or at least a carrier is in the Coral Sea. We do take the base here. They surrender. Good news. They didn't have anywhere to go anyway. And then we'll be able to take them. And I'll probably have them use to take Benkalis. So a few casualties there. Actually, a few destroyed, which is somewhat surprising. Oh, no, this is allied. Never mind. Right, we do have our shock attack over here. Second rated regiment. I don't know why it's showing 0, but 22... Yes! Come on, please tell me there's aircraft on that base. If there's aircraft on that base, holy hell, that's going to be really nice. Oh, come on. Did he move them? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he moved them. If he's moved them this turn, he's a lucky son of a bitch. I don't know. We'll see about that. But they were there yesterday. Maybe he moved them. If he's moved them today, he's a lucky son of a bitch. I don't know. Maybe... I mean, it should have said aircraft there, but... That's a little disheartening, but the operation went ahead. We had a few of the aircraft damaged. We'll take a look at the losses here. Right, I did actually have these Fubukis over here told to upgrade in Singapore, so they'll upgrade to the Fubuki 2. I hope we got the fighters. It doesn't seem like it, but I was like really hopeful, and it worked. We got the base, it worked. I'll have a second raiding regiment brought back out of there anyway, no matter what, so... I was gonna... I don't know, we'll see, I guess. 62nd Infantry Brigade there arrives at Shanghai, that's nice. I guess we'll take a look. Son of a bitch! That lucky son of a bitch! He moved there the same day I landed there. That lucky son of a bitch. Oh my god. That lucky son of a... I can't believe it. Oh, he's moved up there pretty quick there. I wonder if that's like an armored unit. If it's an armored unit, it hasn't really got anything I can do against that. Lucky son of a bitch. There's 194 supply in here, so we are getting supply into this base then, which is intriguing. Hopefully is luck, yeah. I can't imagine it being anything else. I mean, it was something I barely talked about. 106 assault value there. Well, this is it. We are going to be taking Rangoon. Lucky son of a bitch, though. Absolutely. That's wild. That is wild. He's going to have to take that into consideration, though, because, I mean, there's only one unit over here at Magway, you have unit pronounce that, so we could potentially do it there. So he's going to have to be mindful that we have that capability. I was really hoping that we could have had about 30-odd H-81s destroyed today, but lucky son of a bitch. Lucky son of a bitch. Cannot believe it. Oh, wow, he loses, apparently. And we saw 3 of them definitely shot down. It says a 4th here, but he apparently lost a few Wildcats there. A few 139s. We do have 2 L3Y2 shot down. Well, sorry, lost ops. A Topsy G4. Not a bad day for us, but actually a good day, because he loses a few of those Wildcats, which is quite nice. He had damage on his other groups as well, so... he caused some damage at Tulagi, but not a massive amount. The problem is we don't have a lot of supply at Tulagi, but not that bad, really. Not that bad. I just really wanted to have those fighters. That would have been excellent. That would have been excellent. How you doing there, Dravros? Good to have you, my man. Lucky son of a bitch. Lucky son of a bitch. If he'd have done it, if he'd thought, actually, I'm not going to move them today, I'll move them tomorrow, but, how well. So we actually do have our forces over here, our amphibious forces at Mulmien. Are they detected? Wow, and they're not even detected. He doesn't know that there's an entire division. There's the entire 18th, well, I don't know, that's not even the entire 18th division, is it? Did I can't, I don't think I got to load up the entire 18th division. No, it looks like we have the entire 18th division. Where did the 18th division come from, then? I thought we couldn't load up the entire 18th, but it looks... This is saying it's here, and I think it came from Georgetown. Okay, well, it's the entire 18th goddamn division. Well, I mean, that's it. I mean, I could potentially land there at Pegu, but there's no port to work with. It's a size 0. Well, over here at Mulmien, we do have a size 1. So it's probably easy to work with that. I mean, I could potentially land at either or, really, but I think I'd prefer to land over here. But then again, it's one of those of, do I land here? If I could clear that, I could have had them railed in there. I mean, maybe we'll go for Pegu. I'll have to contemplate that. We'd be able to unload... what is the ocean? I'd imagine it's ocean shallow there. It's not considered a river. We do actually have what looks to be... I mean, that's technically... You could consider that maybe like coral or something like that. But there's some sort of obstacle here, some sort of bar here, I suppose you could call it. Maybe like a sandbar or something like that. But you can see that actually does give us a little bit of shelter from Rangoon, because he has to come out and then he has to go in like this. So maybe we do go ahead and we land at Pegu. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have an entire division that can land at Pegu. It'll bring another 3,000 supply directly into Pegu, which is excellent. And it will give us the division there if we so wish to have it. So that's very good news. Very, very good news. So we're marching north over here. What I'm going to do then is divide this unit. I'm going to have an element move south, and I think I'll have an element move north. It's good to see that we actually have supply moving in here. And this is it. I could march potentially onto Magway, and I think we'll march across here. If I take a look at the terrain, that's jungle. He's got these units here that would damage, but if I can even simply move into here, that's going to cause him problems. He's not going to be able to move anything via the rails, not that he really can, because we have control of the rail line down from here. If I take a look, so we've got this base over here, so we'll pull out of that base. That's a bloody shame. That's a bloody shame. Fatigue's up there, but it's not that bad. He knows that we are willing to use an overwhelming amount of zeros. I don't know, maybe he was worried, but I just think that was luck. I think that was just one of those things of, those luck, I guess. He didn't have reconnaissance over Bangkok. I don't know. He had moved them before, so it might have just been like, right, okay, it's about time I move them again. Lucky son of a bitch, he came so close to losing them all. And he'll know that now. He'll know that. So he's going to have to be very mindful of what he does here. But in all honesty, if he chooses to stay at this base, I could go ahead and potentially just sweep that base, and he'll have to think about that. He might just dissipate. Well, he might spread them out, but that's going to cause him problems. You can see he's having issues over here in Burma, which is very nice. So we do have our units here. I broke them up so they can actually recuperate in a superior... Well, just in a... They just actually recover faster like that by being split up into thirds. We do have our regiment over here, then closing on Medan. These fellows over here can return to Georgetown. I will likely probably want another regiment out here, so I might as well go for that potentially in the future. Okay. We had one ship sunk today, which was the 3VP Kiso PB. It was a shame. It's kind of about 330 tons of supply, so it would have been nice to have got that to come back, but hey, that's fine. So he's still moving in over here. Okay, he's more than welcome to. It's going to be a shock attack. It depends on how sizable that unit is, but they should be able to handle it. What I'll probably do is take Kitapang next turn and then have them reinforce over here. Those APDs are moving back while the APD Nadakazi is moving to BLeAcHACiD, so that's good. Okay, that's interesting. We were due to have an attack here, but he actually moved that unit out of there. So we've got the first elements of our own units here, which is good to see. Right, excellent. So we actually do fully own this hex now, which is good. So what I'm going to do then is actually have these tanks moved into this base next turn. There we go. Do have the tanks moving here. Right, so we do have infantry regiments moving south as well. Right, so they're moving there. They've got another few miles there. They've begun to march to Badoing. I don't know why they're not making more progress than that, actually. But that's fine. So, you can see that we do have a major road here. I'd imagine they would have made more progress, but okay. But it's going to take some time, but we'll move into here. What we're doing is we're going to use the armor to actually isolate this hex. And I think what I'll do as well is use the torpedo boats over here to actually land like a small element of a unit. And then what I'll do is control every hex side around here, which would be ideal. So I'm going to move in, move out, move... Or I could potentially move that way, move in. Actually, what I'll do then is, because I do control that hex side... Oh no, I've got to move in and out. Yeah, I've got to move in and out. So when I move that tank unit in and then out again, it can move down here, then move back in, and then move back out. Well, when it moves in, it'll be fine. I could probably have it come out elsewhere then. What we're going to do then is essentially give him nowhere to retreat to. So we do have the infantry regiments moving, they'll arrive next turn. I might put them into combat mode in case he does decide to attack, but I would be surprised if he did attack, to be honest. So we do have our units here, so we have 46 AV here at this moment in time. We do have a 16th Army here now, which is excellent news. I'm going to have them go ahead and plan for that base there. So that does help us out dramatically. It means that our units will be able to recover significantly faster. The music definitely fits right now, doesn't it? It's quite a triumphant note, I suppose we could talk about, because we do have... Essentially, it's a collapse in Java. It's a collapse of northern Java. He's got a few units down here, but that's clear terrain at sort of it's going to be easily taken, which is nice. Or relatively easily taken. So do have the 124th Regiment here. They're moving out. So they have begun to unload. They've unloaded supply, but they haven't unloaded the men as of yet, which is fine. So we'll have the 2 Naval Guard units here tomorrow. They can begin marching in then. Okay. That's fine. We do have these regiments marching south. You can see they're beginning to plan for this objective here now. So that's going to be like, what? About 211 AV or so to use against this base. That base is jungle, but we'll move more AV there when we need it, or if we need it. But I imagine we will need more. Just to be able to clear up in any time soon, really. So we'll have a tank regiment there tomorrow. So these fellows are on Major Road. I do have this regiment here that did take a bit of the... Well, it took a fair brunt of the fight in there. I may potentially have them remain behind here at Cal whatever to go into rest mode. Because there's actual headquarters here, there's a lot of supply here. It should recover sooner rather than later. But we'll see. as a consideration. And that's the problem with having regiments, is because they are, like, 3 regiments go together to make a division, but a division is just so much tougher because it has more of those squads together, and because it has more equipment. They're just tougher units. Because you're fighting 3 regiments together rather than 1 regiment apart, they're certainly tougher to take on. So I'm going to have them go into combat mode. They should make that 5 miles. Okay. I don't know, I'm contemplating potentially leaving this guy behind to recover, but I think I will have him continue to move on. Their AV will come in handy. They still have these guns that will come in handy as well. But I might reconsider that and potentially change my mind there. But looking good there, I'm very glad to have a headquarters. But the sheer fact is we have a headquarters here now, which means that we just fight better. They're still being unloaded. Yeah. So we're still unloading an element there, but I'll be able to have them. I could just potentially dock that in port and get the rest out of here, really, which might be the way to go, considering he still has subs in the area, still has capability. It's a fairly fast-moving task force, though, so that's good news. So there's one port here. Yep. Let's see then. Supplies should move along here. Right. So they're no longer moving then, so he's given up on moving out of here then. He knows that if he moves out, he's going to lose Batavia. He's going to lose Batavia inevitably anyway. We don't quite have enough AV there with the fortifications, which is something to bear in mind. But he's eventually going to collapse. We'll have another regiment moved in, 2 naval guards moved in as well, which will give us the AV. We're going to try to deal with this mountain hex. Once those units are forced to surrender, that's a good chunk of his assault value in Java just completely wiped out, which is excellent. Okay, Yokosuka, they're almost at Lahat. Once they're at Lahat, I can have them railed out as I see fit. We have this base over here, so we're going to have them loaded back up. Do see some fuel and supply out here, which is nice. Facilities are more or less intact too. Resources actually here are not bad at all. Yeah, 80 resources ain't bad at all, really. And that can definitely help to fuel Singapore, which is very nice. Right, do not unload. That supply would have come from my own guys. But the fuel's good. The fuel's definitely a catch. Right, so pick that up. Can I dock in here? I can't dock in... It's actually a size 3, so I can't dock, really. Just a little bit too large. What I could do even is actually just take the light cruiser. Yeah, well actually, no, what I'm going to actually do here then is get the DD. I could potentially get both of the DDs there. Yeah, both of the DDs will be fine, actually. So I'll have them dock and replenish from port, so they can be refueled there. Undock, tell them to follow said task force, and then at least we have a dedicated ASW force with them. And what I can do then is have them dock, and that'll speed up the process there. Okay. I'm going to have them replenish from the port as well, so use some of that fuel there to to refuel. Right, so we have that. Okay, I do need to take these bases. I could go ahead and take that base there for the oil. But there's no rush. In some ways, it might be better to leave it a little while longer, the reason being that while it's there, I don't believe it can turn off oil production. I'm not too sure. I don't think you can. I can't recall. Maybe a game if you could. No, not really, I suppose. Excuse me? Yeah, he can't. That's good. Thought so. So I could go ahead and move against that base. I could even potentially have that moved over here to support operations against Medan, which might be a worthwhile idea. The issue is he could retreat elsewhere. That's the only problem there. Okay. It does not need a garrison, but I do need to have a aviation unit here and a cap here to make sure we protect that oil. So what I might do is actually leave that oil for now and actually potentially shift over here to the north to Langsa. Yeah, that's it, Mark, as you say. So we'll head over that way. I need to go ahead and reconnaissance that, well, recon that, reconnoiter is the word there, reconnoiter that base, and then we can actually have them move from the north, south end to converge in Medan. I could probably do another regiment over here to make sure we take that with no problems. I don't know what the actual AV is, I know it's not huge, but I know it's not insignificant either. Luckily, we do have forces over here that can be shifted over for that fine duty. We did converge, combine the 5th Division last time, which is excellent. 55th, yeah, I have that unit there. So what I could go ahead and do then, what I was actually planning on doing then was having the 55th Division, so having this regiment brought to Georgetown so I could actually have them combine into the 55th Division. But I think what I should do then with the actual elements of the 55th Division is actually have the elements of the 55th used to take Northern Sumatra. I mean, that's plenty of AV. I can have them recombined then and shifted into Burma. We'll see. I was hoping I could actually go ahead and start clearing the mines out of Batavia today, but it seems not. So we do see assets in here. Okay. Looking pretty good then, looking pretty good. So we'll have to go ahead and pick them up. Now if I take a look then, so we had a few of them knocked out due to ops, we had a few of them damaged. All in all, not that bad. I mean, fatigue's not too bad. We do have plenty of them. And they'll recover, surely. We drop them in. We'll pick them back up. Can't afford to remain there. And I could potentially leave them there, but we'll set it... have a little bit of rest there, so I can take a little bit of time. Not too much, but a little bit of time. So we'll have them set to do that. I may decide to cancel it today. The issue is he could march one of these units over here to Bassin, however you want to pronounce that. But this is it. There's only the one unit over here. If we had that hex there, Rangoon would be isolated. But it's not too far off being isolated already, really. We've got the main rail line. He still has the major roads there, but it's certainly getting harder for him. Certainly getting harder. Once I move over here, we should have that technically cut. Yeah, I think what he's done here is retaken this, but then again, I don't think it... Well, he should be able to trace supplies, so I think if we can take that hex back, which we should be able to do, there's like, what, 480 men there? That's a pitifully small unit if that's anywhere near accurate. I think what I could potentially do then is get actually quite aggressive with the Thai divisions. If we could... I think we might go ahead and actually land the division here at Pegu. He doesn't have naval search, so he's not even aware that it's there as far as we know. Or as far as we can deduce. So it might be we go ahead and land them there. I mean, there's lit on the way of actual port facilities, so we might have more unload casualties. Nah, probably best bet would be to land over here in SunYan. It'd take him a few days to march, that's the only thing. Is it worth it? It might be worthwhile to have them moved here. Which will allow me to actually move the Thai divisions out in real force. It does bring more supply into the base of Pegu. We actually finally do have enough supply over here at Pegu. And that is actually down to the fact we do have this road open here now, which is excellent. And I do have more supply being unloaded in here, which is really good. So you can see that we have 3,000 supply at this base. There's 649 supply at this base because it's now empty, but we are unloading cargo here, so all the supply is going to be unloaded in here, which is excellent. It's a size 2 port, but it's somewhat damaged, but that's fine. But that supply has been unloaded. That supply then shifts up over here to SunYan, and it shifts on then towards Pegu. Okay. So we're at size 4 base over here. I don't know if I want to continue expanding it. It's a really useful base, but I don't know if it's something I want to continue to expand, really. I don't think there's much of a reason to expand it to like a size larger than that. That's a good size air base, and I think I could probably do with having these construction units moved elsewhere. We'll have to figure out where they'll be moved out, really, in the future. But no, I might go ahead and just land them over here to Pegu. I mean, they have plenty of escort. We have one heavy cruiser force, if that's some reaction, which I need to turn off. We have a second heavy cruiser. We have a third heavy cruiser. We have 2 torpedo boats in here. They're not fast ships, but they're fairly numerous. And then we have a couple sub-chasers in here as well. If needs be, I could move additional escorts in there, but I think 3 heavy cruisers and destroyers is still pretty bloody tough. I had them continue to patrol in this area last turn, but I could potentially have them move down here, so we could potentially bring the numbers to 4 heavy cruisers. He doesn't have... I mean, as far as I can see, there's no ships in port here. He may have subs, but we do have... There's only so much damage that submarines can actually do. And the beauty is now, let's see, the JNAF Koi isn't quite bloody there yet, but it will be soon enough. Yeah, as you say there, Mark, a cap over them will be good enough, really. I could even potentially fly the Tojos over them or something of that nature. I could potentially even base the Key 43s temporarily. Well, I could base them over here and actually have... And this is it. It's going to be a little while before aviation support moves in. But yeah, we can fly the cap. We've got the range to fly that cap. And if I take a look over here, Tabagoo is 9. Yeah, I mean, that's it. It's a little bit beyond the range. I mean, it's just within range of Port Blair, if I wanted to cap from Port Blair, or LRCAP. But I think we're going for it, Pagoo. I might have a few more unload losses, but it saves a lot of time, which is worthwhile. And if we take a look, we have like 2 days out of SunYan, at least. Another 2 days, another 2 days. I mean, that's 6 days. If we're lucky, it might even end up turning out to be like 7 days or something of that nature. What I'm going to do here, then, is save it here. And then what I could do is just figure out what I want to do with the TIE forces. But I think having a couple TIE divisions suddenly surge to the north is actually going to be quite problematic for him. To put it mildly. I could potentially even have them travel as separate elements, but I don't think that's worthwhile. So we have a 4th RTA here, so I could recombine the 4th RTA. And that's 127 assault value there. So we can have that move to the north. Now, need to tell them to head here then, just so they do not march to the wrong position. Yeah, so I can take the 2nd RTA, the 4th RTA out there. We do have 6 RTA, which... Well, we have 1st RTA here. And the good news is I only need about 20 garrison capacity here. So I just need a small unit just to fill in that garrison there. So what I'm going to do is have the 1st RTA begin to move out there. So I can actually reform the 1st RTA division. I'm going to have to find some units to move in here, but I could just potentially fly in some units, some aviation, or just have some sort of unit moved in here. We'll figure that out. It's a bit of a pain in the arse, it's a garrison requirement, but I could even potentially keep some element behind just to look after it. We do have a TIE cavalry moving up. I don't know. But then again, saying that, is it worthwhile? No, not really. I might as well just keep it here than haven't I? If I don't have a unit to replace it with immediately, there's not really much of a point. So that's fine, never mind about that. What I will do then is have the 6 RTA move north too. And these little units, I mean, these little guys here that are made up of about 50 AV, that's not insignificant, and it's just absolutely perfect to garrison any of your bases in that area. The beauty that we have here is the major roads. Soon we'll have the rail lines too, but we're going to march. The TIE divisions march. He's got terrain out here. He's got some assault value, but he's not going to have a lot. But the good news is now I could have potentially 2 TIE divisions move upon Magway. Or really, we can sort of choose what we want to do there. Yeah, well that's it, as you say there, Mexi. It's getting at the throat. So he's got... Right, so there's this rail track here. That rail track's super bad. That's going to take a long time to move on. Really long time. Right, let's cancel these and make sure. I'm going to, like... Right. So I'm going to have one move north. And to be honest, I could have both of them move north. I could have one even... yeah, we could have 2 detachments head north. And this is it. He's got 1 unit here. 1 very small unit there. I'd love to march across here, but that line's awful. Not rail, sorry, the road there. I don't think it's worthwhile marching along that track. I could just simply march over here to the north with 2 detachments, and probably still enough to manage that. How you doing there, Gary? Guess what? Guess what, Gary? On the day we landed and we took the base, he decided to move his fighters over here to the north to Magway. Amazing, isn't it? We did also see something interesting as well regarding carriers down here. Right, that looks like 1 carrier perhaps, which is intriguing. He actually went ahead and hit Talagi. So he caused a little bit of damage over here to Talagi. We haven't actually taken a look at that. A little bit of damage at Talagi. The aircraft are actually intact, which is nice. But he did pay for attacking. Oh, we did see mines over here at Quadge Lane. Right. Yeah, so you attack with the Dauntlesses over here. And then the Wildcats, and it says we're shot down 2 here, and the replay it looked like we're shot down 3. But in the actual information, intelligence, whatever you want to call it, intel, it suggests that we shot down 4, F4, F3 Wildcats, which is actually pretty nice. It caused some damage to the base, but frankly not that much. Yeah, I mean, this is it. I could put these guys into combat mode, potentially. And it might be that I do that. I might just pull out the aircraft and just put these guys into combat mode. It does increase the amount of requirement, but if he's attacking here, then it seems like it'd be worthwhile doing so. And it also reduces the amount of losses we'll take. As these units aren't exactly amazing, but if he's coming at 100 feet, then these AAMGs are actually going to have a field day. So that's a lot of AAMGs. We do need to get more supply down here. But I think this is it. He's certainly eyeing up attacking Tulagi. We'll have to decide what we want to do there. Okay. The good news is we are closing ever closer. Getting ever closer to the Size 7 airbase, which is nice. We're at 25% now. We may not have the opportunity to get to that, but we'll see. But one carrier is not that aggressive. It's interesting. He might be doing it to potentially keep our attention down here to the south. We'll have to deduce that one. But he kind of has given away his hand somewhat. He might have thought, right, okay, he's got a PB here, he must be operating ships out to Tulagi, perhaps? Not too sure. So we've lost sight of the DMs. So we know he laid mines over here, then. He probably laid mines at the other islands, so what we'll have to do then is simply go around and clear the mines. This is where these local minesweepers come in really quite handy. Yeah, he sank the PB. Right, so we got that. Okay. So, regarding the TIE divisions then. Let's see. One detachment can remain behind then. These other 2 detachments can march north then. I might as well march north. We've got units that are going to be marching up from the south there. So we'll have these units march from the south end to deal with this unit. We'll then have a detachment move this way to secure this road. We'll have, obviously, some sort of unit left behind to take... I don't even need to garrison that, but I just need to control the roads. But what I need to do then is just have units along here then. So what I'll do then is with the smaller elements of the 6 RTA, I'll have 1 march here. And this is something I was going to do some time beforehand, and I regretfully cancelled it. Right, so they're moving to 56, 51. I'll have them move here, 56, 52. We'll land, I think, the division here, then at Pagoo, which will save us a good few days of marching. He doesn't have detection on us, which is superb. We'll cap that, be good to go. We're at size 4 over here at Chiang Mai, so I think we'll have those construction units just moved elsewhere, really. It's looking good. Looking very good. In China... Right, so the division has finally reached its target location over here. So we're going to go ahead and deliberately attack these 2 units. I do have the armored car company here. That's good, so we can't march back that way or retreat that way. We do have 35th, which is marching south. 35th, after it's done over here, will be moving to Wujiang. I'm moving the... Oh, there we go. So we've had 1 element of the 15th Division arrive already, which is nice. Have them in rest mode. I'm going to have the 13th Division move on ahead. To that position there. I want to clear away these units by our bases, make sure we have protection. I do have 3rd Division here now. And in all honesty, I might go ahead and actually move 3rd Division up to this position here, which would make a lot of sense. I want to control the approaches to our bases. I want to control the actual... We want to have a sort of control around our bases, really, prevent it from moving in. So we'll go ahead and send 3rd Division. He may actually think that this is a push towards Changsha. And maybe it will become one in the future, but it's not a proper one as of yet. Oh, he's actually marching back then, so that... I love it. I do love it. That's amazing. Okay. So oh god, I can't speak. We're marching to 7961. That's 7961, so we'll arrive in the Hex tomorrow. Yeah, so that must have been what it was intended to do there. He might have wanted us to carry on moving towards Swaltao. I don't know about a misclick, because it's hard to, like, click, like, to head back that way when you're heading this way. Not too sure. But I do have this element here as well. So let's take a look at the roads. So what I'll do then is march to south there. Okay. So there's no way he can avoid being caught now. He's got the... Well, there should be a second unit over here now. What I might go ahead and do then is send out... Well, this is it. I do have a decent amount of AV here. I could send out the 19th Mixed Brigade ahead here just to make sure you can't march in that way. 190 AV should be okay. It depends on what size force he has there, but I'll eventually move up the division to join them. I could obviously have further forces move from Canton as I clear this up over here. Oh, so we didn't even shock attack, yeah. Okay, fair enough. So we'll just go for a deliberate attack then here against the headquarters. Clear terrain, actually make it shock attack. It's got no AV. Ah, right, here we go. This was a task force I had forgotten about, actually. What I'm going to do then is load up supply and have that moved in over here to this base. I'm going to have it pushed into the Chinese network once again. So prevent continuous supply then. Is there anything worthwhile pulling out of here? I mean, there's resources here, but I might as well let that resource flow anyway. There's not that much. I mean, 17,000 capacity. They do it once and then they'll be forever waiting, so there's no point. Right, so it does have the actual forces over here to Yan'an. Okay. So it's complaining about supply, but that's not too bad. Okay. So what I'm going to do then is have them all to follow here in the ops mode. And regarding the armoured cars, I might potentially have the armoured car sent here to the south. I mean, this guy's marching. The armoured car company they move faster. They're not enough AV, but I mean, it's a decent bit of AV. But what I'm going to do is have that unit move there, just make sure he can't actually retreat back on top of us on this road here, and cut the road, essentially. Right, so I do have these two brigades here now. I'm going to go ahead and order a deliberate attack against the units here. What I can go ahead and do is actually take the Mongol garrison army, which is actually really Kalgan. Wow, they've got a shitload of preparation for Kalgan. So, there we go. And that guy's got 100, so they're actually pretty well prepared for this attack, ironically. Right. I do have another garrison unit I'm moving out this way. Shouldn't be too far away. I'll have to double check and look around trying to find that again. Right, so I do have this element of the division here. They're marching to 8741, which is here. Okay. These fellows are marching forward, so we're looking, yeah, so we're 2 miles away. But of course a little bit further. Right, there we go. I need to have little units over here, so we'll get little units. I'll look around trying to see if I can actually find some, but I could do with having little units over here. But of course, it's not going to matter too much shortly as we are moving up towards our objective, SunYan. I'd say 25. So we marched. Did we march 25 today then? So we should be there roughly tomorrow. Emperor willing. Yeah, he's moving forces out to SunYan here, it looks like. But I don't have a great deal of detection over Chungking, so I can't be certain. He's got a unit outside Chungking, which is interesting. He may very well fear that we are going for Chungking, perhaps. And that's it, you look at that, that's clear terrain in the Chungking Basin. And what I'm going to do then is actually take the reconnaissance then. Okay. I think what I want to do then is... I want to look around this area, but I don't have that many reconnaissance units. So we'll start at SunYan and move it along the actual hexes there to try and gather some information to work with. These fellows over here still marching. They'll arrive tomorrow. Set all to this operations mode. Yeah, there we go. As this artillery over here, I'm going to have to get marching. So it's going to be behind, but I might as well keep it moving, and then I can move it back down via the major road. So I do have the headquarters moving up over here. Yeah, they're going to take a little while. They'll still be within range to help with the attack, which is nice. But this is it. We're closing now. There's 2 headquarters in here as well, which is nice. Okay. So these units, I need an RGC unit like that to just spread out and cover the roads here. Should have had that done from start. But that's a lesson learned. Could have been worse, but it's not too bad. Right, so 34th Division is moving on towards this unit here as well. Take a little bit of time, but it'll not take too long. So we'll have 35th, 34th, and 40th Divisions move to Wuchang in the future once we clear this. I could do a clearing that unit there as well. We're going to essentially clean out these units here. But it's looking pretty good so far. Looking pretty good. Could have done things better. Could have done things earlier, but it's not looking bad at all, really. Yeah, we're looking good. We do have then... so they're heading back to Georgetown. I have here then another division, so we have then the 33rd Division and the 2 army headquarters, the 25th and the 15th Army. What I can do with doing then, to take this heavy cruiser, assign them to actually follow and guard them. Like so. They're heading back. So there's plenty of elements over here at Georgetown that could be picked up, which is excellent. At Georgetown, yeah, we only have these guys. So what I'm going to go ahead here and do then, so let's see, we have 13,555 load value. As far as I can deduce, I did have a DMS's head over here to Medan, and it looked as if there was nobody actually in port then at Medan. Sorry, no mines in port at Medan. So I could potentially go ahead and I think we'll use the that division. We'll use the remaining division here to go ahead and clear northern Sumatra. Something to bear in mind, surely. Okay. So I'll sort that out. I mean, we have so many assets over here at Singapore now, which is absolutely amazing. We're at a size 7 airfield. We could potentially go bigger than that. I don't know if it'd be worthwhile going larger than that. It might be worthwhile to go to as large an airbase as we can manage, but it does get very expensive. I think we could go potentially... I don't know. I don't know if it'd be worthwhile going beyond that point. Yeah, you can see that we have a lot of ships over here now. A lot of destroyers. Quite a few cruisers over here. But the good news is these cruisers and destroyers, etc. are undergoing repair. I do have a couple that are actually undergoing upgrades as well. So we do have the Fubuki, the Usugumo, the Shirakumo. These are all Fubukis that are undergoing upgrades now, so we can have them actually just perform their role and do it better, which is nice. Yeah. So they're going from the Fubuki 1 to... Let's see, is this the first upgrade? It's not showing me the first upgrade, so I'd have to find a Fubuki to show that. Or can I go ahead and actually take a look at the actual ships here? No, I mean, this is it. Cannot waste any time at Singapore. Got to move on. Got to move as quickly as possible as we can. The beauty is Singapore is... It's perfect for that, because we have the actual units already there. You can see we have the fuel that's pulled there. We have the supply that's pulled there. We're almost done repairing the shipyards. I might even expand the shipyards, to be honest. Gotta get the assets moving as quickly as possible. Right. Looking for DD. Okay, here we go. So Fubuki 1. So this is the Fubuki 1 upgrade. I say Fubuki 2, but it's not really Fubuki 2. But Fubuki 142 upgrade. So if I go ahead and compare that. So Fubuki. So we have the 12.7s that are here. Note they're not dual purpose. The upgrade actually does make them dual purpose, and it actually increases their range, which is very nice. They become significantly more potent, essentially. Yeah, this is it. They just become more potent as they go along, really. The Fubuki's are very nice. Flight 1 Fubuki. Yeah, that's it. Flight 1 Fubuki. There we go. Now, if I take a look at the forces over here, then at Singapore. I do have 4th Division, which is recovering. I do have the 21st Independent Mixed Brigade over here, which is also recovering. I'm going to keep the 21st Independent Mixed Brigade here to recover. It's going to take longer to recover due to the fact it's only 1 unit. I can't split it into smaller units to recover. But I'll keep them here, and then they'll be able to recover. What I could go ahead and do is actually change that leader out to a leader with a higher administration, I believe it is, and I think that does increase the rate at which they recover. But the 4th Division I may go ahead and actually have loaded up to move out now. 4th Division, they're not in full strength, but they are up to now 284 assault value. They have 99 squads disabled and a couple HMG, but they are being recovered. I need a few HMGs. The engineers are up there. Missing a little bit of that equipment. Actually, saying that, no, you actually do have a little bit of extra equipment here and there. You actually do have 2 more howitzers than you should have. Can't blame them. I mean, if they were laying around, you'd take them as well. But what I might go ahead and do then is actually have this unit moved out. I might do it now. I'm not too sure. I think it's one of those cases of, even though it's something of a damage division, but we have divisions fighting like that elsewhere. 284 AVs, it's not nothing. But what I could do then is have that moved up towards Rangoon. I could actually have it aimed to garrison Rangoon, perhaps, and then recover to Rangoon. But either way, it's another division. It gives us additional assets to work with. I could keep it at Singapore to recover, but I think it's one of these. If I've got the garrison requirements here, I don't know. Is it worthwhile recovering it at Singapore? Is it worthwhile recovering it at Singapore? Recovering it at Rangoon over Singapore. If I keep it at Singapore, it recovers a hell of a lot quicker, surely. But if I move it to Rangoon, it can actually act as the garrison at Rangoon. I could obviously have it broke up into detachments. I'll recover as well there. A little bit slow, I'd imagine. But it does free up other divisions then to carry on moving. I don't know. I'll have to make my mind up on that one. How you doing there, Halfman? Good to have you, my friend. Good to see you. Yeah, I do want to maintain as much momentum as we can. We will be able to land the division over here at Pagoo. It does kind of suck that there's no port, but we'll still be able to land there. And then that allows us to have that division here over time. It allows me to make use of the TIE units. I can have the TIE units move essentially whenever the hell I want now, which is nice. He's got 1 unit over here. It looks to be an armoured unit or something of that nature, because it's moving quite quick. But we have our own armoured units on the way too. We've got the 14th Tanker Regiment here, which is moving. Once they get to the... Yeah, once they get to Mulmian, and once they go onto that major road, then they start kicking up into high gear. If I can get a couple armoured units, even an armoured regiment in this area here can cause a lot of problems. The ability for them to move very, very quickly. There's clear terrain here. This is where tanks thrive. We're going to essentially cut the heart out to Burma. Rangoon will be dealt with, but the fight right now is not for Rangoon. Rangoon is almost like... It's like the crowning point. It's like the tippy top of the pyramid. It's the cap of the pyramid there. That's what I was looking for. But the rest of the actual body of the pyramid, the actual structure here is in Burma. You've got to take out the structure before you can take the cap. If we take the cap, then sure, we take it, but I can't stop him from retreating. We've got to essentially force him into Rangoon, or just force him into a position where he cannot retreat and then has to surrender. That's what we want to do there. So maybe another division is simply a good idea. They can recover at Rangoon. They don't have that much to recover. I mean, like, if I break it up into detachments, how much AV do I have there? I still obviously 284 added up, but each detachment is 98. So I can have 2 detachments there to recover, or I could simply have another detachment moved out, but we'll see. Well, I'm not expected to attack there with just the armoured units there, Gary. I understand the worry there. What I'm saying is it's the fact that we can actually move there. But if he's not got the troops there, I mean, that's the thing there, saying Chinese units have no meaningful anti-tank capabilities, but British troop units are better equipped versus armour. Well, that's it, British troops. But how many troops does he have up here? He'll have some, but he doesn't have that many. Does he have them in every base? I doubt it. Being able to move here is good. I think being able to move up to here, if I could move to Mandalay and then move up towards Lashio, that'd be nice to secure that base there. An armoured unit would be the best one to do that with, or paratroopers, consider that a little bit of trail there. I mean, they could simply move that way, but it's better to go with the major and then a little bit of trail, I'd imagine, than the secondary, but I'd have to work it out. It'll be good. Obviously, we'll have the armour move there. We'll make sure to follow that with divisions. So checking our forces over here at Luzon then. Okay. So, yeah, this is a problem here. We did go over to hitting the port. We hit the airfield today. I did have everything hit the airfield today, but he has had... it seems like he's been able to recover quite a little bit more of the airfield than expected. Or we just haven't had as much luck hitting the airfield. But we hit it this turn. We still have a point of damage. We still have some damage going through the turn, so we should have enough. Now, because we do not have that much weight in the way of actual damage to the airfield, I think I will go ahead and order another attack. That will take him down to a level 1... Sorry, I'll take it from... He's at level 1 fortifications now. So he was at level 3, then he was at level 2. We attacked... Yes, we attacked and took it down to 2. We attacked and we took it down to 1. So you should have level 1 fortifications now. So he might be in that sort of territory where he could be defeated here. He might surrender in that sort of territory when he has 1 fortification, but we'll see about that. But either way, we'll take it down to level 1 fortifications. I'll allow the bombers to do their work and get that airfield damage up. It's quite incredible, actually, because he recovered quite a lot of that airfield damage and port damage. But this is it, this is the danger. But we've been able to keep all the damage, so we'll just obviously focus back on the airfield again. Okay. No damage here, no danger here. Yeah, Stream Overcast doesn't help. But the fact that we still have damage here is good, means he can't rebuild. So I'm happy about that. Okay. Right, so we do have more supply moving south. The good news is there's a lot of actual assets here. Yeah, he had a shot at the Oki. Was it Oki Noshima? He had a shot at the Oki Noshima with us of the actual. God, was it Raven? I can't remember what it's called now. Swordfish. That was it. Swordfish. Yes, the SS Swordfish had a go at the Oka Noshima, and I'm really glad she missed. I'm really, really glad she missed. Oh, I forgot to turn off lay mine, so. Okay, that's not too bad. I didn't mean to actually have them lay mines. I forgot to turn off the lay mine feature. But that's fine. So we have more mines over here at Rabal. That's not too bad, then. I know, right? Freaking hell. That was a clench moment. That was a clench moment. And that was the second thing as well. That was the second thing. Launched 4 torpedoes. And I just knew... It just felt like it was going to happen, but no. She made it in. We do have more mines over here at Rabal now. For what difference it actually makes, I do not know. It doesn't seem to, like, care about mines, but that's fine. There are other mine layers here. I do have plenty of ACMs. I think each ACM can maintain about 150 mines. I probably won't lay the other 70 mines, because I'd like to have potentially laid at, like, maybe like lay... maybe like 135 at lay, maybe like another 35 somewhere else. I didn't intend to have a full minefield laid here. Tell them do not lay mines. Go in there. But it's good. It's good. I don't particularly mind having more mines here at Rabal, I suppose. Especially as we do see a carrier to the south, but I don't think he's getting too aggressive there. 1 carrier is something. It's something that we can deal with. So, I don't know. He might be moving into this area, but we do have reconnaissance out from Tarawa to about that position then if we are fortunate, so I'm not too sure. We do have reconnaissance out to this way. We did see another ship, we saw another task force heading south this way, but we didn't actually get to see what it was. But I might take the last known position. I should try and send this sub out there to intercept that. Undetected, but we have storms here. Okay. I don't even know where they are. Gagarin, San Francisco, Aiden. Okay. I want to take that base there shortly. Right. No, we're looking pretty good. We are looking pretty fortunate here today. Got the G4s here. And what I decided to do then was actually just shift the G4 M1s over to Kandarai and move them over here to Babardwab. I don't know if we have enough AV at Babardwab. I should say aviation support. I should say AS. Yeah, in future I'm going to say AS. I'm used to saying AV due to like assault value, but I should say AS. So AS. I have a fair amount of mines there at Kandari, actually, can't I? Yeah, okay. But we only had about 8 AS there. While I was over here at Babardoir, I do have 24. So they will be able to recover. We'll just recover faster over here. There's a lot of fatigue on some of these aircraft, so I don't think it'd particularly be a bad thing to have them recover. But I'd like to have the ability to transfer G4Ms. Potentially, I could use them possibly out this way. We'll see there. He still has his ships over here in Port Manila. A couple of them are down, which is nice, but we may have to use naval bombers to take them out. But we still have ships here, which is nice. Right, so we have 41,000 supply moving into Cameron Bay tomorrow, which is good news. So that'll be able to fill up the supply here. These guys have been a massive pain in my ass. I don't know why they've taken so long to actually load up. I'm not going to use these AKTs in the future. But they'll be moving out tomorrow, and then they'll be able to take another 13, just shy of 14,000 supply bin into China. I do have supply bin unloaded directly into Bangkok here. So that brings us up to 17,000. There's another 5,200 there to be unloaded. We do have a supply along the roads here. He does have these units. I'm gonna have to get rid of that unit somehow. But the good news is, because I do have the supply on this road now, it's transferring up. You can see that Pagoo's not complaining about supply, which is very nice. We'll pull those paratroopers out. This is it. I will probably do it today. I think it's probably better to get it done and over with as soon as possible, because then I could potentially threaten other locations there. The units itself also have some disruption. It's down to 28 AV. Oh, so still, yes, there's still 8 assault value over here at Bangkok then. Okay. So it's not even the full unit, so that's not too bad. But not even the full unit took all that. Yeah, they're lacking some IJ engineers. And so we'll have them told to rest and recover. What I will do then is tell them to start planning for Magway then. It might potentially got wind of it through magic, I'm not too sure. It's a shame, frankly, because I did want to get those, I wanted to have all those fighters, but he's going to have to bear that in mind. Ah, well. Right, so we do have plenty of ships here. The good news is these Aidens aren't... They're worth about 10 victory points, so it's not insignificant. But, this is it. There's a lot of them. I mean, there's 23 ships in here. There's 2... Yes, there's 21 ships actually carrying men and material. So it's spread out pretty well. Have them move into Pagoo. Yeah. They're in SW. No, we're looking good. I mean, that's like 3 heavy cruisers and what, even 9 to 12 DDs or something of that nature. He's not going to be able to do anything about that, really. He doesn't even know about it, which is excellent. And that makes all the difference in the world there, really. Not knowing about it. We'll be unloaded into a friendly port. I can get the TIE Forces. I could even start moving the TIE Forces here all at once, but I'd rather not count my eggs before they hatch. But no, we're looking good. Let's get rid of all that. And then we do have a 2nd division here. I don't know. I might get 4th division moving. But I guess it's... I don't know. I guess it's probably worthwhile to keep them here a little bit longer. I do have the capacity to move them, but does it mean I should move them? Maybe, maybe not. They'll recover... Yeah, I mean, this is it. Do I want to have them aboard a ship? I could have them move out in the future via rail if needs be, but I think what we'll do then is keep them as they are now. Keep them recuperating, and we have a stronger unit then. I've got the AKEs over here, actually, but I don't think I have a particular need of them. But in fairness, I'd rather not have them in an exposed position. I'm looking forward to when we do have Rangoon, because we'll be able to have a very nice shielded, yeah, protected port of Rangoon there, which is nice. We're building up the airfield over here at Port Blair. I am moving out the air flotilla from Koh Pang. So there. Yep. I've got them currently moving to Menkasar. I did tell you there, Gary. I did tell you. You want me to do it when I'm asleep? No, it's fine, man. No, I'm pretty much about done here. It's looking, frankly, yeah, frankly it's looking very good. Right, we are building up these airfields. We'll have an ADZAB base built up soon enough. I just need to get aviation support down here. Jesus, I was hoping they'd actually arrive. This is a problem with these guys because they're so slow. This is on my wife's computer. Right. Cutting a bit fine on ACMs, but we do have enough there. But that's fine. We'll have the supply event unloaded. Another 7,600 supply bin ice here to take us back up to 100-ish K. We do have these aviation units moving down here. Ideally, I can get them moved in. Ideally, I can get them moved in there. Oh, I see. Oh, Bulgari. Alright. Nah, it's looking good, man. Yeah, he laid mines over here. He's probably laid mines to these other ones, but I'll go ahead and clear those mines. But in fairness, I don't know how many mines the Allies do get, but he has laid some mines here to... Well, he has laid some mines this month. Oh god, I forgot. We're actually in the 1st of February there. So, there we go. We've left December, the first month of the war. We had the first full month of the war, well, from January. And now we're into the full second month of the war, but the actual third month of the war, then, technically. We've not done too bad, actually. Take a look at things. We haven't done too bad. We've had some disasters. I'm not gonna lie. We had some disasters in the fall of the MKB. Rebal didn't go well, but you take a look at this, where we're nearly 2 full months into the war, give or take, and it's not that bad, really. Luzon is about to fall. Manila may fall tomorrow. Singapore fell early. It would have been nice had it fallen earlier. Rangoon looks like it'll be falling the next few, I'd say maybe the next few week, maybe another week, 2 weeks, something like that. We'll have Rangoon. Burma's falling. We do have a successful offensive here into northern China. Xi'an will be falling soon enough. It's going well enough. We're building up this area now. Right, take that base. It's going well, actually. We've had problems, but it's going well enough, as could be hoped for, really. Yeah, I'm quite happy with him. This is it, we've had ups and downs, but we're somewhat stabilizing now. The longer he gives us to just build up strength, the better, at least in these areas here. Of course, he's building up strength as well, but this is it, we do have a natural point at which we do reach in terms of expansion. Moresby will be ours in the short future, I'd imagine. It's worth a few victory points, which is nice. He's only got 1 unit in there, so I think we'll be able to manage that easily enough. But we are building up our capabilities, really. I would still love to have a decisive battle. He may give us that decisive battle if he's not careful. He may give us that. He's been very careful, he's been very aggressive, but his luck may very well run out in the near future. We do see that Shikaku's repairing here. I think what I'll do is reduce her down to normal, so she's not using additional assets. But she's been brought down to a more manageable level. She was like at 12 previously, she's down to 6, and if we can get the damage repaired on the engines, we'll be quite happy. But we're looking pretty good. We'll take a look at how the actual aircraft are looking aboard the carriers once again. Then I'll put them back into port so I do not forget about them. Yep, so we're at 415 ready aircraft, 440. We do have some. We have another 10 torpedo bombers to be moved aboard with Kitabatai, which is nice. So we're sitting pretty at 198 zeros, 181 of them are ready, 17 in reserve. There's a group over here that does need to have 1 more 0 added into it. Was it Shoho? It might have been Shoho. There's one of them where I do need to add another 0 in. You can see we have 18 zeros here in the pool, which is excellent. We'll have another 10 torpedo bombers added in here. And this is it. It's very nice. We're going to have the ability to actually go for a lead cap, which is nice. So if you take a look over here, we've got 2 0 squadrons at Akagi. So 2 on Akagi, 1 here on Hiru, but it's a large one on Hiru, 2 on Kaga, 2 on Shokaku, 1 on Soru at this moment in time, and 2 on Zuikaku. Obviously, they could be potentially split aboard the carriers. There's no reason why they couldn't be. But it's nice to actually have good numbers there. having the ability to actually layer our cap will be very important. But this is it. We have around about 80 or so extra zeros in the Kid Order of Battle, nearly doubling the numbers that we actually do have aboard the Kid. It has cost us to some extent, obviously, on amount of strike capability. No split, yeah, that's fine there, Gary. But as far as it goes, it's very useful. Gives us quite the ability to work with. There we go. Yeah, so I'll about call it there. We'll go ahead and quickly check on the R&D. And we'll call it about there. It's been a nice stream, actually. Just, yeah, we'll go for about an hour and 20. Which is a good amount of time. We've had a nice amount of stuff to talk about. What I'll need to do, I could try. I don't know if we'll be able to get the turn done today, but we'll try and get that. I think it's about 5 or 6. Yeah. Yeah, don't worry. I think don't take me entirely too literally sometimes. Literal. Right, so 3 there. Ah, there we go. We have a 4 over here at Okayama. That's nice. Yeah, getting there, really. That Key 84A has been quite stubborn there. Been quite stubborn. Actually, did we get... I want that to repair. I've been waiting for that one there for a little while now. The Nick's gaining that speed. Looking forward to that. We're nearly halfway through that. Very nice. Closing in there. 10 away. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. How you doing there, BGG? Good to have you, my friend. And do go ahead and check out the Battle Group Gamer on YouTube, by the way. He's a very good content creator as well. He is also playing Warner Pacific, and he is having to suffer through the early days that I had to do so myself. It's very much like... Has anybody seen... Was it Mel Gibson's Passion of the Christ? It might have been that. It might have been Mel Gibson. I've never seen it, but I know of it. But it's essentially like that, but you have to... Well, the cross that we bear is different. Okay. Yeah, we'll go with about that then. So thank you very much for watching that, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you're not following me here on Twitch already, then I would actually be quite grateful if you were to follow me here on Twitch. And if you do feel I've earned your subscription, then do consider subscribing to my channel here on Twitch. And that'd actually go quite a long way. I'm happy to say I will be starting university next month on the 28th of September. I will be starting a dual degree in Japanese and history, which will be quite fun. So, who knows, in about 4 years I might be able to fuck with you guys and do like these entire streams in Japanese, which would be quite fun. That'd be quite nice. I thank you very much for that, Timothy Vance. Much appreciated. Good to have you here, actually. Might be the first time seeing you, so welcome. Until next time, thank you. Sayonara and Jane. I'm gonna get that one right one day.